Hello and welcome to part 3 of why you should be watching Us English Gentlemen on the Fantasy Football Week.
It's good to be back, as always. And what's this video going to be about?
Well, this is about, for the last 2 years, we've been giving you rookie flyers. In 2017, we were only allowed to recommend players that were ranked below 36 ADP on consensus of rookies, so real deep flyers.
Yeah, so we're going to look at this list. We're going to look at 17 in 18's rookie list in its entirety. These videos are out there. I'm sure Al will put a link on those videos. And realistically, as anybody knows who's an experienced drafter, if you hit on 1 out of 10, that's a success. That's how deep this list it really is. And we're going to look at how successful our track record's been. In all, we're going to look at 22 players that we talked about from 17 to 2018 on the deep flyers list.
Okay, so who have we got on? Who's the first player?
Well, the first player in 2017, it's not a great start for us, got to tell you that now, is a big miss. That was Donald Pumphrey. That's my pick. He was a Philadelphia Eagle running back who came into the league. He was 44 on the rookie list that year as a deep shot. It's a nice idea. Right team, just didn't pan out. Never done anything. I'm afraid that's a big fat miss. So that's a no-no. Didn't really do anything at all.
Okay, so
but we followed that up with your one, and Al was particularly strong this year. 43 on the ADP. He picks out Aaron Jones. I think we've already discussed this off air. Arguably, you could say he's in the top 43 overall.
This is a new rookies coming into the league, and he was actually 43 overall consensus.
I mean, I think anybody would argue that that's an amazing pick right there, and has huge dynasty implications. So that's the hit you're looking for straight away, and Al's found it immediately, which is amazing.
I mean, he'd probably be going well in with 43 overall now.
So I just want to remind people, I mean, critically, this is not us taking the first round or second round rookies. These are deep shot rookies. So finding gold there is the hardest thing to do, but the most important thing to do for a podcast. Okay. I follow this up with another disaster. I pick up Malachi Dupree, so I don't do very well here, and I'm not really going to dwell on that. Al picks a player Malachi Dupree was 45 ADP. Adam Shaheen, 39. Interesting player, interesting tight end, a lot of potential. Mini Gronk, they called him. Just been injured, really. We've never seen much of him yet. So there is still some potential for this dynasty pick.
At the moment,
but I'm afraid that's a miss. I then pick 48 ADP. I pick Elijah Maguire. He did have a little bit of relevance in 2017. It isn't a massive hit. It's only a few hundred yards and a few touchdowns. But in comparison, out those rounds when he started to play, that actually has some relevance.
Yeah, he's still owned by in a lot of dynasty teams. He's back up to Bell probably now. He missed a lot last year with an injury, but came in late on, did quite a lot of catching work.
What you would have hoped to happen if you had him in a dynasty team, you had him while he played well, you traded on him while he played well. That's certainly what I did. Well, I didn't own many shares, owned a couple, but I did trade on him and got what I could. I ended up turning that 4th round pick into a 2nd round. I think that's good value.
Okay, so who's player 6?
Well, you're another big hit for our 2017, particularly strong year for him here. I mean, he's picked out Matt Breeder. I mean, let's talk hits. I mean, had a total of 1,075 yards and ended up with a total of 5 touchdowns. I mean, there isn't really...
Yeah, so year 1...
Sorry, I do apologise. Actually, year 1 was 645 yards, 3 touchdowns. And year 2, so 2018, he got 1,075 yards and 5 touchdowns. So this is a huge hit for Al.
And this is a guy that wasn't even on the Fantasy Pros list. So we're giving you players that the experts haven't got. They're not on the consensus list. No experts were giving him out. I read a piece about him turning heads in the rookie camp, and it continued into when the main training camp got going. And he wasn't on the list, but I thought, this guy, they seem to like him, and he turned out that way.
It's a massive hit. I mean, you look at the ADP, 49. I mean, end of 4th round.
No, he wasn't on that list at all.
Oh, so undrafted guy.
He was a guy that wouldn't have been on the list.
So it's a massive hit for Al, and he's had a really, really strong track record in that 2017 rookie Flier hit list. I mean, that is a really amazing pick. You can't really argue that. What did they make? And got better.
Yeah, so I was particularly pleased with that one. So.
And then I follow up my dud list bar, a small hit with another stonkingly good pick with Brian Hill. I won't even dwell.
Still knocking about.
Still around. Got potential. Bowling ball of a
he's
player.
a miss at the moment, isn't he? But he's not completely.
You're not happy. I mean, let's be honest. You're not happy with him.
I don't think he's very big owned, is he?
But then Al does come down to earth here with this pick. He takes Ishmael Zamora, who wide receiver.
Yeah, Ishmael Zamora. I picked him for size and speed. He never really worked out. Obviously, he's not going to work out now. So
but it's still a great list. I mean, we haven't finished this list, but we're already. We've got several hits here, thanks to Al. Mainly a one minor hit hit from me, but things do get a little worse before they get better again. And we'll talk about
this
is a big miss here. So
this is the guy that played, and he was
he was rubbish when he played. This is Peterman. I picked him up. He's 52 on the ADP. Absolute waste of space, frankly. Didn't do enough. And yeah, it's a deep shot as a quarterback, and he wasn't expected to do much, but a wasted pick.
Well, one quite good stat about Nathan Peterman. He
great
could play.
interceptions. Great interceptions.
They said he'd actually have a higher QB passing rating if he threw every pass directly on the floor. So that's
well, I don't think many people are going to listen to my rookie flyer list. It would appear, but it does. I do say for my part, when I get it right, I do get it very spectacularly right.
Okay, so my next one was
Elijah Hood. I'm afraid that also.
That was because he was backing up. He was a potential to back up Marshall Lynch at the time. It didn't work out. He never made. He got cut even before the season.
So and we finish off with two amazing picks actually here. Al takes at 54 ADP Tarek Cohen, and I argue anybody to find another great hit like that. That is an amazing hit. Players got better on each year, and fantastic pick. What can you say? There's not much you can really add to that.
I think everyone knows who Tarek Cohen is and what he's capable of.
That he ended up going on to my bold prediction list a year later. That's how much I saw that.
He was 54 overall, believe it or not, in the rookie draft. So,
but I did follow this up with my best success of 2017, which was Kenny Galladay. So just to show you, I was on the curve of Galladay long before he really hit gold. So I did pick him out here as a rookie flyer to watch, and he was 55. So the 2017 list ends up looking this way. We take the duds out of it. We've got Aaron Jones on that list. We've got Matt Breeder, and we've got Tarek Cohen, and we've got Kenny Galladay. So that's 4 hits up 12, which is frankly in a deep flyer list unbelievable. You would be happy if you got one.
Elijah, the guy, you could say he probably wouldn't be overly excited about him, but he's certainly not a miss.
He had a moment in that season where he was worth having.
A few moments last year as well.
However, we then followed that up last year. So
2018 made things easier for himself. We couldn't pick anyone ranked in the top 2 rounds for 24, so he's still looking at rookies flyers round 3 and below.
So it made it a little easier, and you would hope that would improve my odds. So we'll see how it pans out. But we'll start with my first dud on this list, which is Bo Scarborough. The idea was logically backing up Ezekiel Elliott, and I had red flags around Ezekiel Elliott, not because of talent, because of off-field issues. But that's been true, proved true even recently. But Bo Scarborough never got a chance, and frankly, that's a fail. So that's a miss. But Al backs this up with another hit. Al's very good at this, so just take that on board when you're taking your.
Yeah, so I chose Antonio Callaway,
and that's a big success because 586 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. Any metrics you want, that's a huge hit.
He's ranked 28 overall, so I think he would return that value. I think you'd be very happy with him. Obviously, he's not wide receiver 1, Beckham did it there, but that still doesn't mean that this guy doesn't have value. The Browns are an improving team, and everybody counts. It's all about playing pieces, and this guy will still have chances to shine, and could end up being a very big deep threat when old Beckham takes the middle of the field away. For a deep flyer rookie, 5 touchdowns, 586 yards for a rookie wide receiver.
That's a hit down here. That's a massive hit. I follow this up with something which at the time doesn't look so strong. As you look forward now, again, you're going to start seeing the trend. So I take Josh Allen here, big arm, 42 on the ADP, this 4th round player. I pick him up in a lot of leagues, and I start stashing him away. We've already seen that his value is far more than 4th round, and after this year, I could probably train him for a lot more. And we're going to see how good this kid really is now they've put pieces around him. So I'm very happy with that pick, and I say that's a hit.
Well, not only did you pick him at 42, the reasons why you picked him, you said about his good footwork, he was going to be sneaky good in the running game, and how true was that?
Yeah, and that's in the video to see as well about the footwork, and no one else mentioned that. Not even the people that studied the tape on him every week, the scouts that went to see the combine, the scouts that were there watching the college games. No one picked up on his footwork. He had over 500 rushing yards and proved that he was a very sneaky quarterback. And we all know that the quickest way to fantasy success is through the running game as a quarterback. You add a big arm in and an improving year. He's had a year to improve. I think the sky's the limit for this guy. That's why I had him on my big predictions going forward for 2019. We'll see. Anyway, Al follows this up once again. Another great pick. Keety Kuti, fantastic, great dynasty pick in my view. And he played from year 1. Got a bit injured. But I say that the sky's the limit for this guy going.
Yeah, he was ranked 31 overall. And people are still talking him now, so people are really starting to get on board with him. Sean Watson's been talking him up, saying he's been electric this in this pre-season, and we're still talking May, so it's very early yet. But I think without the injuries holding back, he had some big games where he had over 100 yards.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Very exciting player to watch, and proved another fantastic hit.
I mean, you'd be more than happy if you owned him in Dynasty. You could be getting.
I mean, just think about this: is third round, 31 was the ADP. It's a fantastic pick there. You're laughing here. You've stashed a player away that's got relevance. Could have massive relevance if Wolford doesn't play much or gets banged up again. Then Keedy Cudi comes into his own, playing alongside DeAndre Hopkins with an improving team and potentially an improving running game.
And like I say, we like to think we're ahead of the curve, and a lot of podcasts now are telling you pick him up, he's sneakily good value this year.
Too late.
But if you already own him,
Yeah, you're cashing in. So here I follow this up with a hit. So this is starting to look a bit bad for me this year. So you've already seen I had one miss and then one hit. Now I have another hit. Naeem Hines, 46 ADP. The most amount of rookie catches for anybody.
Yeah, he broke the record.
63 rookie catches, year one. I suspect that is actually the floor. There was a bit more there, because Marlon Mack is not a pass catcher. So with their team improving, I think this guy can do more. So I really love that pick, and it's a great dynasty pick. And in certain PPR leagues, that's fantastic.
Yeah, 4-point PPR, which fantastic. A lot of them are now. Yeah.
So happy days with that one. That's a really good pick, and proving it to be a good year, 2018. This is one of ours. Didn't quite make it. Not sure why this came on.
He got injured, didn't he?
Well, I'm going to add something on here. I think Al was, and this is something that we can only tell you what was going on with our minds at the time we were picking, and I think it's fair to say this. Al was weighing up two players. Dion Kane was the one he chose, but he did look at Valdez-Scantling. So it's unlucky we can't definitively say that, but the one thing that backs Al up is anybody knows us. He picked him pretty much in every team. So that tells you how much he believed in Valdez-Scantling. So Dion Kane unfortunately got injured and never really did anything, which is a real shame. But it was a good try on that one.
There's a couple of misses now with Alan Lazard. He's now with Green Bay.
Yeah, I picked him, and the idea was quite nice, but he had flashes of what we thought were interesting in camp, but it never amounted to anything. He's got Green Bay, and he's got a lot to be out ahead of him, and I think he's probably at best more like a camp player, somebody to test against.
I wouldn't say Kenneth Williams, a lot of American players.
No.
If you've watched it carry on field, Kenneth Williams.
So it's a shame.
He's not
camping that way, but no, that's a miss. You then pick Richie James, who's really just turned into a special teams player.
He's never going to.
But his ADP was in the 60 range, so I mean, let's forgive you for picking out a deep shot here. Now it gets more interesting.
Now
okay.
The
last two picks. Okay, now this guy I picked here is like the year before Al had an undrafted running back, which was Matt Breida, turned into gold dust. I picked up Philip Lindsay last year on this list, and I think we could argue how huge that is. 1,277 total yards, 10 touchdowns. That's elite by anybody's standards. That's a worthy pick.
And I think Sean is actually underselling himself here, because this is probably the pick of a lifetime.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't on any list. They had 100 players on Fantasy Pros. No one picked him out. Sean, if you go back and watch our rookie video, you watch what Sean says. It's so unbelievably true. I mean, it's spot on. He liked Royce Freeman, but he said don't sleep on Philip Lindsay. He was on this list. He said he loves his character. He's a hard runner. I think we all saw that last year. Amazing runner. Amazing ability.
Good talent. Had the metrics, the stats to back it up. He just needed an opportunity. He got that opportunity, and he never looked back. And
let's just talk about that. 1,277 yards, 10 touchdowns. This is a guy not on anyone else's radar. Yeah. This is what we're trying to say about, we're from England, but we do our research. We draft all year round. Our community is second to none. I think, everybody is so glued up, so you learn things from each other.
Definitely we do. We take on board, as much as, I'd like to take credit for a number of things. The truth is, we listen to people's advice. Like, our community was the reason I picked Naeem Hines, not because of myself. Naeem Hines
Lindsay was all your own way.
Yeah, Lindsay I did do it myself. I don't think anybody else had heard of him.
No, nobody had.
But Naeem Hines, I definitely bow to the community, because people were picking him, and he ended up going, and I think that was a very astute piece of picking late first in rookie drafts was very clever picking, actually, when it came out to these days.
I think Dan Nichols took him in a lot of leagues.
So huge kudos to people for different, and we latch on to good things, and we definitely drive them, and then go, we'll have that. So really big hit. Then Al follows that up with another huge hit, I personally believe is going to get better, actually, and we'll talk about that in another video.
Yeah, so the
Swiss Army knife.
This is a guy that if you had him on your dynasty team, or even on your redraft team, the playoff weeks, you'd have been laughing.
Well, it doesn't sound like much when you just look at the stats. So he had 199 yards, 3 touchdowns. But as Al highlights beautifully, this came at the key moment of the season, the playoffs. And that's what we were saying about in 2018, tying both James Conner and Jalen Samuels together as a duo seemed really weird. But when you watch the whole year unfold, it's almost voodoo-like because it's perfect how it fell. And Jalen Samuels, I believe, has even more value going into 2019. As I say, I'll talk about that another time. But
we've already
really great picks here.
I mean, we're in May now, so we're quite away from the season.
So if we weigh this up, if we just quickly go through the hits.
Well, I mean, let's just talk about. Just want to carry. I mean, they're already using Jalen Samuels and Connor. In 2 RB sets. They've been practicing it.
Yeah.
They practiced it last year, but now they're really going to bring it into game. So, that value should...
Here's the thing, and I think we can openly talk about this here, is so I think what Al highlighted, which is again one of these things, that's why we work very well together, I think, is he picked Jalen Samuels out last year in the 2018 list, and I began looking at that player more closely. So he had somebody I'd looked at, but hadn't studied, hadn't caught fire with my imagination of what I thought was possible. So you start looking at him and thinking, okay, what if? I realised before the season started, after Al picked him, that there was something going on in Pittsburgh, and I couldn't figure out what it was. No one was talking about it with Bell, so I tied James Conner and Jalen Samuels together because I liked both of them, and I knew somebody from the two was going to work out to be the one. I love Jalen Samuels for this year. I'm not going to hide that. But what I will say about this, which is really critical to why it's such a great pick from Al, it started here. This last year it started, and that's massive. That's such a huge hit. So they're massive.
Okay, so let's just see if you. I mean, bear in mind you'd have taken a first-round rookie and a second-round rookie before any of these players would even.
And in many cases,
would even been on your
third-round rookie. In many cases,
and the third-round rookie on a lot of them.
So year one, we know we hit 4 out of 12. And just to remind you, we had Aaron Jones, Matt Breida, Tarek Cohen, and Kenny Galladay.
I mean, you'd be very happy to have all them 4 on your team.
And I always say, if you get 1 right out of 10, I think actually that's okay. If you got none right, that's actually fairly normal. We got 4 out of 12.
And these are late. They now 4th round and
we backed that up. 2018, and we only have 10 on our list, and we hit on these names: Antonio Galloway, Josh Allen, Keeti Kuti, Naeem Hines, Philip Lindsay, and Jalen Samuels. That's 6 from 10.
6 out of 10.
That's incredible. So overall, we've hit 10 from 22. I defy you to find anything better than that. And arguably, if you had those 10 rookies on any one team, you'd be set with your dynasty team for a long time to come. So
if you're thinking just because we're from the UK, we don't know our stuff, we do. We research, we watch tape, as much as anybody else. And we think the results are borne out in.
Somebody asked me recently, I think this spells in well with what Al's saying here about watching tape and stuff, because this has been the most interesting thing about the process of being a podcaster is there are no experts. But what you have to be is really good at analytics. You have to be able to analyse everything you see and make bold predictions ahead, thinking about logical what-ifs. And I think that's spelled out through these predictions. And that's what you see.
I mean, and we've got plenty of rookies for you this year as well.
I'm very excited about this rookie class.
Many drafts.
I'm already frightening quite a few people with one prediction, scaring the life out of them as they cannot understand it, but they're slowly coming around to my way of thinking. It looks like I'm being very bullish, and I have been, but it could prove to be an absolute gold winner for me. I could be sitting back in a year and actually walking away with a lot of cash because I was a year ahead of the curve. We'll see. I might be wrong. That's fair enough. I haven't lost a lot. I haven't mortgaged a lot to do it. So it's been very good.
I hope you've seen enough to, think actually these guys know what they're doing. If you'd like to, we'd love you to subscribe. Our numbers have grown. We were really
looking for more.
Used to be the best kept secret. We're nearly up to 1,000 subscribers, which is a lot for a UK-based fantasy podcast. That's all we do.
Yeah,
fantasy. 100%, and we play all year round. We love American football. We love fantasy football.
We love to be challenged. If you don't, if there's something we do that you're not happy about, you've got better ideas than us. We're all willing to listen and think about what you're about to tell us. So please come
even the
become
community
part of us.
Last year, and there's a couple of others that people added onto the list. That I like Robert Foster was one of them.
Big time.
Yeah. So it's all about sharing information.
Yeah.
And it just makes you have a deeper look at that player. And actually, Robert Foster turned into quite a decent.
He did, and that's all because of one of our people that was very clear about what he'd seen and why it was so good, and then naturally,
and no one was really drafting him,
and he proved to be accurate and correct, and so you listen and you learn, and that's what good podcasting is all about. So we look forward, hopefully, to seeing you subscribe and sharing these videos, because critical you do. And
stay tuned for this year's rookies.
There's going to be a lot of interest in these next rookie lists. I'm very excited about it.
Thank you very much for watching.